Hello and welcome everybody to our fourth part of the Esport Lunch Lectures Germany. Today, very hype topic, NFTs and in-game content. Just to manage expectation, as this is a very broad topic with a lot of implications, we narrowed it down to really in-game and the publisher side. And hopefully we will stick to our format. 15 minutes of talk by Marcus today. And afterwards, we hope to get some discussions going on maybe this, questions you might have or use cases you have experienced and the legal implications. And now over to you, Marcus. Stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Moritz, and welcome, folks, to today's topic, which, as Moritz already has explained to you and which you are pretty much very well aware of, is a very hot topic currently, so NFTs. And what we would like to present to you today is to giving you some expectations from a legal perspective as well as a business perspective with regard to this interesting topic. So hopefully after this call you have some new impressions, which kind of aspects of this issue might be relevant for you. So to start with that, we would like to make a comparison to the old-fashioned world. So what you see is a classical postal stamp. And this is a usual and probably the most knowable thing for collectors for I don't know how many 100 years. And the question that we try to answer today a little bit is whether or not digital goods will become the next stamp thing, which will be attractive for collectors all over the world and the money that could be made by that. So that is a question that we would like to talk to you about. Well, just as a very rough explanation, well, what is an NFT? It is a non-fungible token, and the idea of that is that is some kind of, a technique where you use a digital item on the one hand and use a blockchain technology on the other hand to make this digital item unique and transferable. So that means that you have some kind of, I don't know, an avatar, some kind of picture. It does not necessarily need to be an in-game content, but it's a digital content. And you connect it to this kind of blockchain technology, the NFT, which makes it unique and transferable. And that is the main issue of that. I will not explain you too much about the blockchain technology that works behind that, because that will be a topic for 2 other lectures that we could hold to you. But just for your understanding, it is a blockchain-based technology, whereas a verified system not using one central server, but a network of it. And that could be used to really prove that one digital content is unique. And if you transfer it from one person to the other, the purchaser knows that he will receive and purchase a unique digital good. That is what is an NFT is all about. And just to provide you with some ideas, I'm very well sure that you know all of that already, but just to give you an example of that, what could be a digital good that could be connected with an NFT to make it unique? It could be special avatars in a game. It could be a special weapon, a special armor, or a special good that has other skills than another good. For example, you could imagine when you have a role play game and you have a magic sword, then it could be a magic sword with an NFT and without an NFT. And the NFT authorized magic sword could be a special weapon that is highly valuable for all those players of those kind of games. So just imagine every digital good could be connected with an NFT. And today, since we talk about esport business, we would like to highlight the digital goods in the gaming atmosphere. So let us take a look. Which kind of, I would say, distribution channels could be used to sell and resell NFT connected goods? In our view, there are 3 major channels of distribution and of making money with NFT digital goods. It could be a third-party shop, meaning that there is a third party that is not the gaming publisher that offers his platform to connect a digital good from a publisher, from a game publisher, connect it with an NFT and offer the transfer, so the marketplace for this NFT. That is the first distribution channel. The second one, and this is a logical thing, and probably as more valuable NFTs will be and as more money there will be in the market, as more attractive it will be for the gaming publishers themselves to not to give away this money to third-party marketplaces. It could be that the gaming publisher itself offers its digital goods in connection with NFTs. So if you are well aware of the gaming industry, it's pretty sure that there are a lot of money being made with the sale of digital goods, special skins for online games. And it is very simple to connect those already existing digital goods with an NFT to make it unique and to make it more valuable and therefore more money in place. And the third category that we found out is a topic that is, well, it has been born by NFTs. So the first two channels, it is just like an additional sale of digital goods that are already existing, but there are also games that are based on NFTs and that are not thinkable without NFTs. And I will explain a little bit more about that. Let us take a closer look at those three kinds of distribution channels to give you an overview about the legal topics that are available with regard to these three distribution channels. Well, the third-party shop, it is obvious for attorneys and in particular for IP attorneys that the main question of that, so take, for example, Call of Duty game with the publisher Activision and a third-party marketplace with NFTs offering, connecting the skins of this game published by Activision by NFTs. The question is, well, is it necessary? So does the third-party platform producer or provider need the consent of the publisher to connect the publisher's digital goods with NFTs? And it is very interesting whether or not connecting an NFT to a digital good is something that has relevance for the copyright law. Well, to make it this very complex issue very simple, it is very likely that you need the consent of the publisher, so of the owners of the copyrights with regard to those digital goods that you would like to connect with NFTs. But however, this is a topic where we can write 2 doctoral theses about. But in a nutshell, it is clear, well, you probably need some kind of agreement between both parties. Otherwise, it will be pretty tough for the third-party marketplace provider. So that is a big difference to the second kind of distribution channel. So this is the distribution channel by the publishers themselves.
Ja.
And this kind of ensure that there is no need for any special copyright relationship, because, for example, in my example that I provided to you a minute ago, if Activision, for example, decides to offer their digital goods with NFTs, out of one hand, they have probably the copyright to do so. So that is not the big deal. What is interesting here is the 2 bullet points at the end of that slide that make it interesting. For example, you could imagine that if you already have a market channel for your own digital goods and you now bring NFTs into this marketplace, well, you could have a two-class system regarding your digital goods. So for example, if you would like to purchase a special avatar, you could purchase it in a standard version without NFT. And this avatar is unique, but not that unique. So you probably see other players having it. Or you could also offer a special NFT connected skin that is really unique, which probably you will sell for a higher price. So that makes this 2-class system, digital goods with and without NFT. And another interesting issue that is relevant for this kind of marketplace is that under copyright law, also under German copyright law, there's always the provision that you have to compensate the creators of your digital goods in a reasonable way, right? And what is reasonable depends on the money that the copyright owner makes with it. And if you have an NFT connected digital good that will be sale and resale, so a lot of more money come further down the road during the distribution, you could try to arrange it in a way that your creators will get additional amount of money whenever the NFT connected digital good will be sold. And that might help you as a copyright holder to comply with the copyright laws that I have mentioned before. So that is an added value when you could track the further sale and resale of the digital goods to compensate your creative people for that. And the last thing, and this is more, well, a funny story, but we have brought that just to provide you with some ideas what is possible with NFTs. There are games that are based on NFTs. That is the third thing. And for example, when you take a look at this, well, in my personal point of view, pretty ugly cats, but I leave it up to you how you like it. But all these cats that you see with the different colors are NFT unique cats. And the interesting issue of that game is that when you combine, let us say, a green and a yellow cat based on a special NFT, there is a new cat born. So a new NFT will be generated by the merger, to call it like that, of these two NFT cats. And the question there is, well, who would be the owner of the new NFT born cat? Would it be a joint ownership of the two original, parents, so the owner of the two NFT cats that have been combined with this new? It is not really a legal topic, but we wanted to provide you with that to give you the imagination that there might be some additional games that are pretty unique just by NFTs. So I will not provide you with all details to that, but one aspect that we want to highlight here, because I think that is one of the most interesting topics from a legal perspective with regard to NFTs. As you remember in the beginning, NFTs are unique, and the idea is that you would like to offer your customers of digital goods to sell and resell it, right? So the further purchase. And usually, and I will not provide you with more technical details on that, but usually a lot of NFT sale and resale issues are connected to smart contracts. So smart contracts in a nutshell is, let us say, contracts in this regard signed so automatically being signed without a strong relationship to humans making this transaction. And there are a lot of legal national regimes, for example, the German ones, that are not accepting contracts made automatically between machines because no human beings have been integrated in the decision-making process. And that is something that is an interesting topic with regard to NFTs, because the further purchase of NFTs is mainly based on smart contracts, and depending on the details of this system, it is interesting whether or not the sale and resale is legal binding, or whether or not a national jurisdiction does not accept this contract as to being valid. That is one of the interesting topics regard to that. And I'm happy if you have any follow-up question to those things, we could go to the Q&A session later on if you want. However, just to give you some also visions, we have called it, so to provide you with imaginations, what might be the future. And the interesting thing, so we have talked a little bit about NFTs in the gaming industry, but there might be also some bigger perspective to take a look at NFTs, because at the end of the day, the idea of NFTs is to have digital goods that should be as unique and as tradable as real physical goods. And you remember the beginning where we talk about the postal stamp, and if you could think that there is every part of the real life that could be connected to a digital good. Let us say you have won a special prize with your soccer game, and you get one of those medals or something like that that you currently show to your neighbors when they're visiting you at home. But you could imagine that you get this medal in a digital form connected to an NFT, so that everyone knows, well, this is a real unique medal that you have get for winning this soccer match, right? And you could imagine that instead of a book of pictures which you could show to your parents that visiting you, you could also have some kind of digital room, like a museum for your achievement that you have acquired all of your life. And in this digital room, there could be the the in-game content. When you are a gamer and you want to show your prizes you have earned, for example, prizes regarding esport tournaments that you have won, together with, I don't know, the medal for your first swimming race that you have won and all this kind of stuff. So this is the thing that we call metaverse. So you see that when you understand that the idea is to have digital goods that should be as close as possible to the physical goods in real life, there's a huge bunch of opportunities, and not only the gaming industry would be one of it. And finally, to come to the conclusion that we have raised in the beginning of that, so at least in my view, well, also in our partnership, we have, well, let's call it more traditional, old-fashioned partners and more progressive technology-based partners. And I'm very sure that when I ask the question to the more traditional ones, whether or not they could imagine to replace their physical goods, their, I don't know, their record collection by a purely digital database, they would probably deny it and say this is not the same. But when you talk to younger people, I think, and I would count myself, at least not from the age, but from the digital affine part of the story, I would say, well, for me, it would be perfect to have a digital goods instead of collecting all this physical stuff that I put into my basement and need more room to storage. So I think that the NFT thing could be really the game changer to transfer a lot of digital content and make it as similar as possible to the physical goods in real life. And I think that is it. Let me see. Yeah.